Hi everyone, this is Shannon from theirishscrapper.com, and today I have a Christmas card for you guys using a couple stamp sets and some beautiful designer series paper. So you can see I've created my own wreath here, and I'm using one of our dies to do that. So we have a set of dies that's called Swirly Scribbles, and there are a few different images in here, and this one actually looks like this, which kind of reminds me of a pumpkin. I have used it as a pumpkin in the past, but today I'm using it for a wreath. And I'm going to combine that with our Christmas Pines stamp set as well as the Pretty Pines Thinlits to create the rest of our card here. The designer series paper that we're using today is the Festive Farmhouse. One of the color combinations in that paper is the Mossy Meadow, the Cherry Cobbler, and the Gray Granite. And that is a gorgeous color combination together, which I did not realize until I started looking at the paper. So that's what we're going to use today. So I'm going to use my Mossy Meadow ink pad as well as my Cherry Cobbler. And then our card base is going to be the Gray Granite. So let me go ahead and pull these pieces in. We have a piece of Gray Granite that's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of the designer series paper that is 4 by 5 1/4. And this is one of the wood grain looks inside that designer series paper set. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this down. The Christmas Pines set can be found in our annual catalog, not the current holiday catalog. It's one of my go-to sets each season. I use it quite a bit. And today I'm actually using a few pieces that I haven't used that often in that set. So I thought that would be a great time to pull that out. So let's go ahead. Why don't we do our die cutting first so we have our pieces, because I like to set those there to kind of look at placement before I set it down. So I'm going to grab my Big Shot. And I have my magnetic platform in there as well as my precision base plate. I have a piece of the Gray Granite, and we are going to cut our wreath from that. I'm just going to run that through and back. I'm going to set that aside. We're going to cut our bow from a piece of Cherry Cobbler. And the bow die is in the Pretty Pines, right? Yeah, Pretty Pine Thinlits. Alright, and then we're going to cut a couple of pieces in the Mossy Meadow. And we're using one of the sprigs from that die set as well. So I'm going to do 4 of these. This is our last sprig. Just help work that out. Okay. Now I can pop out our other pieces. And I'll bring in my die brush and foam mat. Alright, so now we can bring back our card. I'm going to give our base a nice crease here. Bit of adhesive there. Okay, so I wanted to set my wreath kind of on the card so I have a better idea of where to stamp my sentiment in this label. So this is a lovely size label. This is using our big I block, and I'm going to stamp that in the Mossy Meadow. So we're going to ink that up. This is a beautiful decorative and fancy label, so I thought it would be nice to put on a Christmas card. Just hope I'm straight. Okay, let me stamp that down, give that a nice press. Gorgeous. Okay. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment in the cherry cobbler. So we're just going to bring in some of these beautiful colors together. I'm going to use the 'Tis the Season. And let me just, again, I might have to pull this a little closer to me so I can see. I'm so surprised that I love this color combo as much as I do. And it kind of caught me off guard. And I do. I just love it. Love these colors together. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my sprigs. I'm going to have my glue dots here. I'm going to kind of overlap my sprigs. And then I want to kind of trim down that stem a bit. And I'm going to put them right into a glue dot to kind of help me keep them together and place them on the card. So I'm just being careful picking those up. And then I'm going to do the same here. Let me see. These ones are going to be, did I flip that over? Yep. Okay, I'm going to do the same here. Oops, and I lost one. Okay, I'm going to set those aside. I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue. Let me get some of these fuzzes out of here. On my wreath. And I'm just going very lightly around all of these spots. Okay, that should be good. We're going to pick that up. Let's make sure we're straight. I'm going to drop that down, give that a press. Perfect. I don't have a lot of messy glue bits hanging out here. Okay, so now we can go ahead and lay down our sprigs. If you wanted, you could cut off that little stem if that bothers you. I think it's okay. I don't mind it at all. I do think I want to maybe separate these a little bit more. Yeah, so that looks good. So now I have both of those glue dots kind of hung together there. I'm going to add another glue dot to the back of my bow. So I'm just going to roll one up over my piercer here. Kind of make that into a little ball. And smush that into the bow. And then we're going to cover that up with our beautiful bow. And then I'm going to add a pearl accent here. I just think that kind of finishes it off. So with our basic pearls, I'm going to use one of these larger ones. And we're going to stick that right there on our bow. And then I'm also going to stamp a sentiment on the inside. One of the sentiments in this set says, "May the simple joys of the season be yours." So we're going to, let me use my stamp pad there. Although I think I did stamp it in Mossy Meadow. We're going to stamp that in the inside of our card. Make sure that's nice and inked. And then we're just going to do that in the center of the inside. And then I'm just going to place this with a Whisper White envelope. And I haven't decorated my envelope. I typically do. I just wasn't sure yet how I wanted to coordinate that. I might use another piece of this designer series paper on the flap. So I haven't quite decided. I'd love to know if you guys create this card, what you do with your envelopes. I love to do something. I never send a plain envelope. So I'll come up with something here soon, but I wanted to share this festive card with you all. And I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'm going to have a full supply list of all the products used in the description. And as always, I will see you guys real soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.